Welcome to In Conversation with MANWAR podcast. This podcast is brought to you by the Do Not Be a Bystander campaign. You can join us in raising awareness about bullying by visiting the donotbeabystander.com, and be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay informed about upcoming episodes. Today's participant is Saba, an extraordinary individual whose solid passion for eradicating bullying and fostering a safer community for all is truly inspiring. Today's conversation with Saba revolves around the profound significance of acts of kindness and their impact on individuals and society as a whole.
Welcome to our Bullying Awareness Podcast. I'm your host, MANWAR Khan. Today, our guest is Saba, who is ready to share her thoughts and insights about the topic that we will be discussing is act of kindness.
Hello, Manwar. Thank you for having me in your show.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here today, Saba. It's an honor to have you here at our show. So, Saba, to me, act of kindness I see in a different way. I want to share my thoughts first. Act of kindness can take various forms. Small gesture like giving compliments, holding the door for someone, offering a listening ear, to more significant actions like I would say volunteering some work, donating to the charity. What about you, Saba? What do you think act of kindness is to you? Just your opinion, and can you share a recent story or an experience, anything you have witnessed in regards to act of kindness?
Thank you, Manwar, for giving me the floor. I would define an act of kindness as an act performed by a person wishing to either help or positively affect another person. It is the quality of being selfless, caring, compassionate, and unconditionally kind. Like love, it takes practice to understand and feel it. We share love with others through kind acts such as a simple smile, a nice word, an unexpected deed, or a planned surprise. Kindness can mean different things to different people. The meaning is in how you choose to show it, be it through empathy, acceptance, kind gestures, thoughtfulness. The possibilities are entirely up to you. Kindness might look like being helpful or showing empathy. It may mean doing nice things without expecting nice things in return. Now, as you have told me to share a recent act of kindness, right moment I can think of one, which is let me share one. Last year, I went to Langkawi, which is in Malaysia, with my husband and stayed in a resort. One night, when we returned back to our resort after finishing our dinner, I stumbled over something after getting out of the car. I looked down and found a big fat wallet. I picked it up and checked inside to find some contact details of the wallet owner. I found few credit cards, quite a good amount of Malaysian ringgit, and a driving license, but no sign of any contact details. Now, since it was found within the premises of the resort and in the parking lot, I was pretty sure that the owner is also staying in that resort. Then we went inside the resort and handed over the wallet to the receptionist and headed back to our room. The next morning, we got a call in our intercom, and it was that man whose wallet we found the last night. The man was so grateful to us that he kept saying thank you over and over again. He even offered to have dinner with his family that day, but unfortunately, we had to go back to Kuala Lumpur that afternoon. He then gave his phone number and told us to contact him whenever we visit Kuala Lumpur again, as he stays there. So yeah, it was pretty heartwarming when you get such a kind response from strangers for your act of kindness.
Wow, great example. I loved it. Excellent. Thank you so much, Saba. So it is. Some people say act of kindness is essential. Some people say it is very important. What do you think about this?
Kindness is one of the most valued character strengths in every society. We like kind people, so being kind can help us be liked. Beyond that, being kind has been shown to boost not only others' well being, but also our own personal well being. For example, if we spend more money on others, we are generally happier. And if we volunteer to help others, we are generally healthier. You know, kindness is a movement. Like someone has done something kind to you, and all you wanted to do after is to pay it forward. That's because kindness is a chain reaction. It is a wave that keeps rolling, and all it needs is one person to start it. One small kind act can cause a ripple effect that impacts an entire community. If we all are focused on being kind, we are creating a movement of change. You know that famous quote by Mahatma Gandhi, be the change that you wish to see in the world? That quote isn't about a change. And it isn't only about one person being able to change their world. It's bigger. It's about a movement that can be started from one person acting with intention. So, yeah, kindness is important.
I totally agree with you. Act of kindness can create a positive. You just mentioned that it's a ripple effect, so it can create a positive cycle of goodness, right? To that benefits individuals, communities, and society as a whole. As an individual, we have ability to start that cycle. We can create that cycle, helping and practicing act of kindness. Great answer. Wonderful. So I also want to talk a little bit about there are some unique ways can you think of that we can show act of kindness to others.
Well, yeah, one of the best ways to teach kindness to others is by being intentional about it. Volunteer, give compliments, donate to charity, hold the door for someone, say thank you when someone does anything good to you, say sorry for mistake, talk with a smiling face. There are so many ways to be an example of kindness. When I think of my daily life, there are many small acts of kindness happening almost every day. Like when I get out of my house, I greet my security guard with a smile. When I pay money to my rickshaw puller, I say him thank you when he returns any change. Even I pay him extra money if it's too hot outside. Then again, after getting inside a lift, if I see any person coming, I hold the lift for him. And if any person do the same thing for me, I say thank you. So the best way to teach kindness is to show it. Lastly, I would like to say that we are humans and therefore we make mistakes. We can be kind in our response to ourselves and others when those mistakes occur. If we could all remember that none of us are perfect, we could be a lot kinder to each other. So, offer grace and be kind. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you, Saba, for having this conversation in our podcast today. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Before we wrap up, I would like to remind our listeners that there are several resources available to help individuals dealing with bullying. The Government of Alberta has a bullying helpline that can be reached at 1-888-456-2323. Bullying is a violation of human rights. Under no circumstances is bullying acceptable. As a community, we have a shared responsibility to take a stand against bullying and refuse to be a bystanders. Thank you for joining in conversation with MANWAR Khan, and see you next week. Thank you, Saba.